This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
And welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about getting a great night's sleep. And we have our resident sleep expert here, Farouk Manji from SleepShop. And their name is SleepShop, but they also call themselves your sleep experts. Now, Farouk, before the break, we got into latex and how that's the hot new trend. And you have a relationship with a new line of beds called Sprout. Now, we have our special guest on for the next two segments. Why don't you introduce our guest and explain how you decided this was a good fit for a company that says they're sleep experts, SleepShop.
Absolutely. Thanks, Zach. So I'd like to introduce Faisal Chatoor. His family owns Aram Incorporated, which specializes in a lot of different higher-end valued sleep products. Mm-hmm. And with SleepShop specializing in latex, which we've done for a number of years, Aram had approached us about a year ago to say, look, we're launching a new line and we'd like SleepShop to be a partner with us. So we looked at it, went back and forth. We visited their factory, which is a great facility in Edmonton. And finally this summer we pulled the trigger and we've launched the Sprout line in a couple of our stores. All right.
And now, Faisal, you and Farouk have sort of similar backgrounds as your families started in the furniture business and now the next generation has taken over. Is that the case with your background?
Actually, Aram was started by myself, but it was an extension of a furniture business that my father started about 35 years back.
So you guys have kindred spirits here, trying to forge into the latest technology when it comes to beds. So with Aram, you sort of focus on higher-end products, right? Like you have a bed that is fit for a queen, literally?
Yeah, I mean, our real emphasis over the past few years has been to manufacture mid to high-end products. So products that, are going to give the customer real value, products that are flippable, which is very rare in the market today. So, it was essentially a cost-saving measure in 2008, 2009 for major manufacturers to make one-sided products. And so, our product lines are, mid to high-end, as I said, and they're all flippable. And, yes, we do manufacture a product called Hypnos, which has a royal seal from the Queen of England.
Is that what she sleeps on?
Absolutely. It's called the Eminence. The model is called the Eminence, and you essentially have to supply the royal household flawlessly for 10 years before you can get the royal seal of approval.
Now, if you put a pea under it, can you feel it? That's the old Princess and the Pea story.
Probably not.
All right. Now, explain the theory behind Sprout. Like you wanted to have a natural latex bed. So what was your impetus to do that when there are other people already making these styles of beds?
Well, we really felt there was a massive void in the market with respect to high-quality, handmade product with an affordable price. So affordable is all subjective because some of our high-end Hypnos products cost anywhere between $7,000 all the way up to $40,000, depending on size and configuration. So Sprout kind of fits the bill with respect to a reasonable price point, but not having to sacrifice the quality, and also has some of the handmade elements that our other high-end products have.
Now, for you can jump in with this. When did latex really start to take off as a foundation for a mattress? Has it been 10 plus years, 20 years?
Definitely. I mean, at least 20 years. Mm-hmm. But it was something that was rarely made. It was not readily available to a lot of the major manufacturers, or they chose not to because it's an expensive raw material to work with. And it takes a specialized sales force or to really understand the benefits and to sell the quality of sleep. But SleepShop has had it for at least 15 years.
Okay, Faisal, how have you seen it change the actual making of the bed and how it benefits the end user, the person that's going to sleep on it? Is it easier to manufacture now? Have the prices come down? The way it's constructed changed? Can you give us a little background on that?
Yeah, I mean, the conventional mattress is almost entirely machine-made. It is, a factory can manufacture anywhere between 500 to 1,000 pieces, depending on the size, a day. And, the handmade products, which is what the Sprout is, it's a hand-tufted construction. So a lot of the design and the quilting that you see on the surface of the conventional mattress is machine quilted, and the quilting doesn't penetrate entirely through the bed itself, whereas a hand-tufted product is tufted entirely through the mattress to prevent shifting of the fills within the product.
And then the latex you use is, there's two kind of main lines, right? Is it called Talalay, is that right? And then Dunlop latex?
Talalay and Dunlop,
Talalay. So
correct.
Explain the difference, and which one do you use?
Well, we use the Dunlop latex just because, it's almost 100% natural. So it's close to natural as you can get. Talalay latex is just a different process of pouring the rubber into different molds, and Dunlop is just, again, a different process. Dunlop has a tendency to be a little bit more denser and of better quality and longevity.
So can you describe, it's hard to talk about when here on the radio, but what's the difference between, say, yours and you've got the hand-tufted, but explain the layers and what the benefits are to the person that's sleeping on it.
Well, in the Sprout range, we have a coil-based system, which a lot of people are familiar with. So it's a pocketed coil, which is offered in different gauges, which contribute to different types of firmnesses. As well, the latex configuration and the softness and firmness is also able to be configured to offer quite a few different configurations of feel, which can suit the individual consumer.
Do you have a mattress that's entirely latex base, or they mostly have a spring component? So
two of our Sprout products is pocketed coil based. So the entire premise of the mattress is pocketed coil, and then we have layered latex on top of that. And the other products within the lineup are the core of the product is latex.
Now,
entirely.
Somebody listening to this for the first time, we have Farooq Manji here from SleepShop, your sleep experts, and Faisal Chatur from Aram Incorporated in Edmonton. They make the Sprout bed that SleepShop is carrying. When somebody's listening to this and they're hearing latex in their bed and they've never ever experienced that, what is the 30-second sales pitch for why someone should invest in a latex bed? What is it going to do for me to get a better night's sleep?
Well, I think the real big advantage of latex is its resiliency. I think there is no product out there that we've seen that is as resilient and as durable as latex. So foam has a tendency to sag. Foam has a tendency to absorb your sweat. It has a tendency to break down. Latex, from our tests, and we do roll tests very often, from our tests, latex has as I said, the highest resiliency and the most long-lasting product out there.
Now, Farooq, you're on the front lines here. People come into your shop, and maybe now that you've been selling latex beds for 15 years, you're getting some repeat customers now, right? So what are people saying that once they've had a latex bed, what do they like about them?
That's exactly as Faisal suggested. I mean, the consistency of it, the longevity, the quality, but it provides a very different, unique feel, unlike a standard memory foam or even just a regular coil. The support is very consistent. Pressure relief is there. It's naturally breathable. It's hypoallergenic. We've had many customers come back now that they've had kids and buy latex mattresses for their kids because they've experienced it themselves and they know they prefer their children and their family to sleep on a product that's not going to have this the other residue and stuff that comes out of traditional foam mattresses.
That's the off-gassing and things that happen, right? Now, Faisal, are you, like, people are eating healthier, they're eating organic, they're exercising, people even plant their own gardens in the summer. Is this sort of shift to healthiness, is that reflected in the beds? People are willing to spend a little more to get latex in a natural bed?
Absolutely. So latex, as I mentioned before, is as close to our latex, as close to natural as you can get. So 99.8 or 9% natural. Whereas the off-gassing that you rightfully mentioned is because of the foam products that are almost entirely chemically based. So when you're lying on this product, you can smell, especially the memory foam products, you can smell the chemicals, and this is the product that you're inhaling.
Yeah, and then whatever you put on top of it as well. Our guest today is Faisal Chatur. He's from Aram Incorporated, and they make a line of beds called Sprout. And Farouk has aligned with them. You're selling how many of the Sprout beds in your stores?
We've got 4 models, and they are the ones that are all 100% latex, top to bottom. And as Faisal mentioned, you have a variety of firmness choice that you can. So once the customer comes in and we'll do a comfort test with them, we often use the Sprout line to do the comfort testing and then introduce them to the latex line.
Okay, the reason why I asked that is because when we come back, we're going to get into the different lines and the benefits of each next, right here on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.